That, within a couple of months, though, he had moved on. The new commissioner did not give me that same commitment. I enjoy a pretty good relationship with the new commissioner, but he has not in any way made, he has not said unequivocally that he wants to see that issue taken care of as priority #1 in Greenpoint. And then within a couple of weeks after that, this proposal came out. So, the other, there's another issue that nearby on Manhattan Avenue and Clay Street is the former Greenpoint Hotel, which is now, which is an SRO portion of it on Greenpoint Avenue, on Manhattan Avenue. But then on Clay Street side of it is operating now as a 3/4 house, which is an unregulated facility for this one's for men coming out of prison, coming out of jail that have substance abuse problems, but it's entirely unregulated. And from indications that I have seen, it's not well run. I, in my office, are looking into this particular facility, this particular 3/4 house, because I've heard many, many complaints, and I'm not just talking from neighbors, I'm talking from folks that are in there. And there's some descriptions that I've heard that are so appalling that I'm looking to introduce legislation, and I'm working with the chair of the General Welfare Committee, which I serve on. I'm working with the chair, Annabelle Palmer from the Bronx, on this, to introduce legislation to reform 3/4 houses because of what I have seen and what I have heard of coming out of that facility. So we have, I think that the reason, what it boils down to is that I think that this proposal does not address the issues that this community needs addressed, and instead addresses an issue that may be a citywide issue, but that in no way helps this situation that we have here in Greenpoint.
Something on Clay Street, if you go west, is also buildings there for women. So you have the women in one area and the men in the other.
Right. Irene said that going west on Clay Street, there's another facility for women. The other thing is that is about this 3/4 house, because there's a company that's a for-profit company that all those guys that are in that program have to go to, and this is their drug treatment program or their substance abuse program. Meanwhile, we have local substance abuse programs that have a great reputation, a sterling reputation, and something's awfully fishy when there's only one that they're allowed to go to get certified, and apparently they don't do a very good job of monitoring these things either. So that's a whole other meeting. That's something that I'm going to be introducing legislation on in the coming weeks, because that's something that needs to be reformed in the city. But I was just going to ask if I could see a show of hands. How many people in this room are in favor of the Help USA proposal? Can you see a show of hands? How many people in this room are opposed to this proposal? And then how many people in this room are still figuring out their opinion or don't have an opinion just yet? So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand the mic over to Mieszko, who's going to just talk a little bit about what Community Board 1's experience has been thus far,